John, Michael, gentlemen, congratulations. The two of you have made it through the first 2 rounds of our competition and are moving forward into the final round where you're heading back to your home forges to build an iconic weapon from history. This is the largest blade we have ever asked bladesmiths to make in the final round. Gentlemen, in 4 days, you will have to build this. The Groot Pierre sword.
During the 16th century, a larger-than-life warrior in the Netherlands, known to the locals as Groot Pierre, or the Giant Pierre, wielded this massive sword in battle. Pierre's size made him the subject of folklore and legend, but the physical size of his sword speaks for itself. The 15-pound, nearly 7-foot-tall sword is the largest European sword ever to be used in combat. As a mercenary and pirate, Groot Pierre is believed to have wielded this weapon with ease, delivering devastating blows to any enemy that got in his way. And it can be seen today at the Fries Museum in the Netherlands.
Now, guys, good luck. You have 4 days to complete your massive swords. We will see you then.
My name is John Simons from Indianapolis. I have 3 years bladesmithing. Most of that's all self-taught. I love doing this. Some people want to go to Disney World. I want to come here. This is my vacation, so I'm really looking forward to it.
This blade is so long, I can only heat up about 8 inches at a time and press it. Just a very repetitive process. Prepping for this quench is going to take a little time. I have 3 forges. I can get nearly all that sword in the forges at once. This is a super-sized quench tank. Never used it yet. We're going to test it out today. Quenching this, I've never had to climb 5 rungs of a ladder. Everything needs to go right because there's not enough time to do it all over again. Hope for the best. I didn't feel anything abnormal when it quenched. It is hard, and most importantly, it is straight. All the components are there. They just need some finishing touches and put an edge on it. The blade, it is 100% complete. I'm exhausted, but inside it feels wonderful. The mother of all swords.
My name is Michael Dillon, 54 years old, been forging for 30 years. I started making knives for props in the movie industry. I'm pretty confident, but wearing my pants may fall down. That's why I have a belt and suspenders. I'm used to building big stuff. Some of my sculptures weigh up to 6,500 pounds, so this is in the realm of what I'm used to working on. My quench tank's buried 6 feet in the earth. Here we go up this ladder. This thing is huge. Guard done, pommel done. The plan is to grind 1.5 pounds off this blade. Everything's coming out, nice shape. And I'm gonna start the finish of the blade and the guard and the pommel. I'm really happy with it. I really gotta hit something with this. I just can't let it pass. Nasty.
Bladesmiths, welcome to the kill test. John, you are up first. Are you ready?
You know I'm ready.
All right, let's do this. All right, John, let's talk about your sword here. What I like is that you use a nice, hefty counterbalance, because despite being a heavy sword like this, it's wieldable. The edges are sharp, it cut deeply. I like that the guard also is not so massive that it gets in the way. And overall, it will kill.
Awesome.
All right, Michael, your turn. You ready, sir?
Yes, sir.
Let's do this. All right, Michael, that's a beast. That's a beautiful beast. Now your edge is sharp. That really cuts deep into the pig carcass. It is a nice, heavy weight, but controllable, and more importantly, it will kill.
Thank you, sir.
Gentlemen, it's time for our strength test. The sheet metal chop. Now, there are 3 layers of 20-gauge sheet metal in each one of these things. And John, you are up first. Are you ready for this?
I am.
Okay. All right, John, very nice job on this sword. It's got a good weight to it. The blade itself, there are some slight rolls, but it's still plenty sharp. One comment I might have is that the blade's lean enough that it's very flexible. When I pick it up, that tip kind of drops maybe 3 inches of flex. You start to swing that blade, you don't know where that tip's gonna go. It's flopping around. But it did its job. Well done.
Thank you.
All right, Michael, you ready for this?
Give it hell.
Oh, good, because this is so much fun. All right, Michael, balance point, right where I freaking want it. It's a little bit more of a firm blade. It doesn't quite wiggle as much. As far as damage, just the very edge has rolled, but I would not drag my finger down that edge. It would still open me up. Knocked out of the park. Well done.
Thank you.
All right, Bladesmiths, this is the sharpness test, the watermelon and water jug slice. John, you're up first. You ready for this?
I am.
All right, let's do this. All right, John, let's talk about your blade here. The edge, it cut the first watermelon cleanly and then just wobble. There's so much wobble in this. As Dave said, there's just so much flex in this blade. You don't know where the tip is gonna go. And that's what happened on the watermelon slice. On the water jugs, clean cut. Even the tops are still there wondering what happened. Overall, your Groot Pierre, it'll cut.
Thank you.
Michael, your turn. So you ready?
You bet.
All right, let's do this. All right, Michael, let's talk about your blade here. First up, on a watermelon slice, much easier. Not much flex on the blade, just easy. Just keep it and let it drop and let it do its work, and it cut all the way through. On the water jug slice, it did cut. Overall, your sword, it will cut.
Thank you.
That was pretty rad. All right, gentlemen, in this supersized competition, we gave you a task on a scale unlike anything we've ever seen before in this forge. And the blades you brought back here impressed all of us. But as you know, only one of you can take home the title of Forge and Fire champion and get that check for 10 grand. And the judges did make a final decision. Today's Forge and Fire champion is Michael. Congratulations. Now, John, you gave us an unbelievable blade, but it missed by just this much, and Dave's gonna tell you why.
John, this decision really came down to the extreme flexibility of your blade. That's why we're letting you go.
John, you are an unbelievable smith, but unfortunately your time in this competition has ended. I'm gonna have to ask you to please step off the forge floor.
I had a blast. Thank you, guys.
Thank you, John.
Well, Michael, that makes you the Forge and Fire champion. You're taking home a check for $10,000. Well done, man.
I'm Forge and Fire champion. This is the first blade I've ever forged of this size. I'm very proud of my performance. It's very important to me to share the craft and to educate people and make some badass swords.
Gentlemen, congratulations. You are both moving forward into the third and final round of this competition. Now, in this last round, we're going to ask you to go back to your home forges and build an iconic weapon from history that has been shrouded in mystery. Gentlemen, we want you to build this. The medieval sword of mystery.
The medieval sword of mystery has been puzzling historians for centuries. This double-edged broadsword features a double fuller, making it light enough to wield single-handed, delivering fast, lethal strikes. The sword was found in the River Witham in East England in 1825. It's believed to have been forged back in the 13th century, although its exact origin is a mystery. Even more mysterious, the blade has a gold inlaid inscription etched into the steel in an unknown language. Several years ago, the British Museum recruited the public to help decipher it. But to this day, no one has been able to crack the code.
Bladesmiths, you will have 4 days to build your medieval swords of mystery. So good luck. See you guys in 4 days.
Good luck, buddy.
My name is Larry Rhodes, 44 years old. I live in Fulton, Kansas. I'm kind of a perfectionist, kind of from the old school. If you're gonna do it right or don't do it at all. I think what I need to do to win is I need to hit the wow factor. That's ready to go in forge. I'm gonna run 2 billets at the same time, so I'm not waiting on it. All right, here we go. Billet number 2. Got good welds on it, and I think it'll be okay. I'm gonna grab the 2 billets, put a right hand twist in one, a left hand twist in the other, cut them up, and restack them. All right, here we go. Well, it looks like I have a piece with a crack in it. Starts here, goes down, over, and back up. I'm gonna go ahead and go to plan B. I got a bar 5160, so I'm just gonna go ahead and put it in the forge and run it on out. Looking forward for the wow factor. It's not gonna happen. All right, here we go. Perfect. Right now, we're back on track. Yeah, it's good and straight blade. I'm gonna concentrate on the handle. Starting to look like a guard, ain't it? First up, I think I'm gonna weld a bolt on it for a threaded pommel. I don't think it looks very good, but too bad. Put my handle together. I wanna make sure it's a good tight fit. Don't want anything loose. Ooh. I wished I had more time on the detail work, but let's go in there and test it and get her done, get it over with. I'm ready.
My name is Cordell Whitfield. I'm 20 years old and I'm from Telephone, Texas. I love bladesmithing because I just like fire and metal. Now for the spicy bit. As I'm going to quench, I really hope I don't pull it out and it turn into a banana. Oh, that's bad. It's hard. Now it's the grind marathon. Today I definitely have to finish the handle. I know exactly what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna do a leather stack. With a leather stack, all I gotta do is stack it up, glue it together, and put the pommel on. So, onto leather. I just gotta finish shaping the handle. I gotta sharpen it, and then that's it. For this part of the program, we will now start the mystery inscription. A medieval mystery sword got a mysterious inscription that nobody can figure out. Pretty good. I'm gonna scratch off the letters. Then I'll etch that, and that'll just etch the letters, and it will leave my blade shining. I believe that's gonna work. I like how it turned out. Oh yeah. This is a pretty sharp blade. Let's go chop up some water bottles. There you go. There you go. I'm definitely proud of this sword. I can't wait to see it tested and hopefully come away with that 10 grand.
Bladesmiths, welcome to the kill test. The legendary medieval sword of mystery. Well, the first mystery we're gonna solve right now is, are they lethal? Cordell, you're first. You ready for this?
I suppose.
All right, let's do this. All right, Cordell, let's talk about your medieval sword of mystery. First up, your handle construction. Your handle is nice and smooth. The one issue I have is it has all this space. Now, let's talk about your edge. These boars are no joke. They're very tough to cut through. But your edge made easy cuts and thrust on this boar carcass. And I finally figured out what that word right there says. It will kill.
Thank you.
Larry, your turn, sir. You ready?
Yes, sir.
Let's do this. Guys, I think we have a parameter issue here that we need to talk about.
Quick huddle. Well, Larry, it seems that Doug saw something with your blade that he wants to discuss further with the judges. So, gentlemen, while they talk, I'm going to ask you to please step off the forge floor. All right, the guys are out. What'd you see?
Well, what I did not see on Larry's sword is a disc pommel. We asked him to replicate an iconic, legendary medieval sword of mystery. That's not a style of a blade, that's one particular blade. When you look at that, it's got one form, one look.
We put these parameters down because we want everything to test evenly. It's not the sword we asked for.
You know, a disc pommel is not a vague idea. You want a disc pommel for counterbalance on the blade. Also, you want that swell where it is much larger than the handle itself for retention. With what we have on Larry's, it actually tapers smaller than the handle. So there's a good chance of swinging it and have it fly out of your hand and endanger people around you.
Well, you guys on the same page?
Yeah.
All right, we'll call him back in. All right, Larry, we got a bit of an issue. We asked you guys to recreate the medieval sword of mystery. Now, part of that sword is the disc-shaped pommel. The judges have talked it through, and they've decided that your pommel does not fit within the definition of a disc-shaped pommel. So unfortunately, it is a parameter failure.
Larry, one of the parameters for the Sword of Mystery was a disc pommel. Two biggest reasons for that, aside from the fact it was part of the original design, is having that mass back there to retain the sword while it's being swung. Also, the weight to counterbalance the blade. Your pommel doesn't have that. And we're worried that swinging that, it could go flying across the room.
Well, Larry, you fought hard through this, but unfortunately, with the parameter failure and the fact that the judges can't test your blade fairly against Cordell's, I'm gonna have to ask you to please step off the forge floor.
Thank you for having me, gentlemen. Appreciate it.
Thank you,
Good
Larry.
fight.
Yeah, I'm disappointed with it. I wanted to see it perform. I was running up against the clock, running close, so I worked up the last minute getting it done. But I forgot the disc pommel. That's how it goes. But I had a good time.
Well, Cordell, your hard work paid off. You are the newest Forge and Fire champion, and you just won yourself a check for $10,000. Congratulations.
I'm pretty excited. I hate to win it this way, but I'm excited to win it nonetheless.
You won, fair and square. Well done.
Good job, Cordell. Good job.
I doubt I'll make another sword, but I was very happy with my blade and I've had a lot of fun.